What is the point of staying with him?
He has too much control, but all his wealth, one day, it will be mine.
Why wait for one day when we can make it happen now?
The night was too quiet. Even the wind, which usually whispered through the tall palm trees of Umuade village, seemed to have held its breath. Inside the grand compound of Chief Adewale, a shadow moved carefully along the corridor. A woman. Her footsteps were soft, but her heart was loud. She stopped in front of a heavy wooden door, the bedroom of her husband. Her fingers trembled, not with fear, but with anticipation. From behind her, a man emerged from the darkness. "Are you sure this will work?" he whispered. She turned, her eyes cold and determined. "Tonight," she said slowly, "everything ends." But what she did not know was that this very night would expose everything. The man called Adewale. Chief Adewale was not just a wealthy man, he was a blessing. In all of Umuade village, his name was spoken with respect, gratitude, and sometimes disbelief. Does a man like that even exist? People would ask. He was rich, yes, but unlike many others, his wealth did not harden his heart. It softened it. He built homes for widows, paid school fees for children who were not his, fed strangers like family. And in his own compound, no one was treated as less. Not even Musa, the gatekeeper. Not even Ngozi, the house help. Musa, the gatekeeper. Musa had worked for many rich men before. Men who shouted, men who insulted, men who treated him like a piece of furniture. But Chief Adewale, he was different. "Have you eaten, Musa?" the chief would ask every evening. And if Musa said no, even as a joke, the chief would not rest until food was brought. One day, Musa fell sick. Before he could even beg for leave, Chief Adewale personally drove him to the hospital and paid all the bills. Musa never forgot that. Never. Ngozi, the house help. Ngozi came from a poor family. She expected suffering when she took the job. Instead, she found dignity. Chief Adewale never called her house girl. He called her my daughter. On her birthday, something no one had ever remembered, he gave her a wrapper and money. Ngozi cried that day because for the first time, someone saw her. But inside that same house lived a woman whose heart was nothing like her husband's. Her name was Bisi. Beautiful, elegant, but cold, very cold. She hated the way her husband gave away money. She would shout,
"You are too soft. People are using you."
If kindness is a weakness, then I pray I never become strong.
Those words irritated her. To her, kindness was foolishness, and foolishness was something to exploit. Early signs that something was wrong.
At first, it started as small lies. "I'm visiting a friend. I'm going to the market. I have a meeting." But slowly, those lies became something darker. Because Bisi was not just leaving the house. She was meeting someone, a man. His name was Kunle. Young, charming, and dangerous. Kunle, the man in the shadows. Kunle was everything Adewale was not. He was impatient, greedy, and hungry for a life he did not earn. When he met Bisi, he saw opportunity, a rich man's wife, with access to wealth. And Bisi, she saw freedom. Freedom from a man she no longer respected. Their secret meetings. They met in hidden places, abandoned houses, quiet corners of the village, sometimes even in town, far from watchful eyes. And every time they met, their conversations became darker.
What is the point of staying with him?
He has too much control, but all his wealth, one day, it will be mine.
Why wait for one day when we can make it happen now?
Bisi froze. That was the first time the thought entered her mind. A dangerous plan began. At first, she resisted. No, it's too risky. But Kunle was patient, manipulative. You said it yourself, he whispered one evening. He is weak, too kind, too trusting. Bisi said nothing. You deserve more, Kunle continued. We deserve more. Silence. Then, slowly, Bisi nodded. That night, a plan was born. Signs that something was wrong. But evil plans rarely move in silence. Something began to change in the compound. Ngozi noticed it first. Madame Bisi had become strange, always on her phone, always restless, always angry. Then Musa noticed something too. A man, he had seen him once, standing far from the gate, watching the house. When Musa approached, the man disappeared. Suspicion grew. One evening, Musa spoke quietly to Ngozi. Have you noted anything unusual? Ngozi hesitated. Yes. They exchanged looks. Something was wrong. But what? The man who trusted too much. Meanwhile, Chief Adewale noticed nothing. Or perhaps he chose not to. Because when you believe the best in people, you often ignore the worst. But even he could not ignore everything. One night, he turned to his wife. Bisi, is everything all right? She forced a smile. Of course, but her eyes betrayed her. For a brief moment, Adewale saw it, something dark, something unfamiliar, and for the first time, a seed of doubt was planted. Back to the night, the same silence, the same plan. Bisi stood outside her husband's room, Kunle behind her. Everything was ready. Everything was about to change. But far away, Musa was awake, and Ngozi, she had seen something she could not ignore. And somewhere in the darkness, truth was moving faster than lies.
Thank you for watching this episode. Please like, share, and subscribe to our channel. Turn on the notification bell for more amazing content like this. Thanks for your support.